January's numbers are out, so let's get into it. Here's the state of the market in Santa Cruz County. I think it's important to look at a lot of different data points because it's easy to hone in on one or two things and think that tells the whole story, but it doesn't. So let's start off looking at the median sale price year over year for the last 5 years. You can see values are pretty dramatically up. Yes, they are down since 2022, but the overall trajectory is up. In March of 2022, here in Santa Cruz County, we saw a massive median sales price. It was inevitable that that was going to come down. When you look at these numbers, you can see the trajectory. But now let's look at some other stats. The inventory level. This January saw the greatest increase in inventory since 2019. Let's look at list price to sale price ratio, meaning are buyers paying what the sellers are asking. 2023 is actually the lowest amount on the board. In general, what we're seeing this year too is that buyers are able to negotiate things on the back end, not just in price. There are tons of other things you can negotiate to get yourself a great deal. When you look at the median days to sell, how long a property sits on the market before an offer is accepted, you can see there is a pretty significant increase. Let's take a look at interest rates. When you look at the 30-year fixed average over the last 5 years, you can see that buyers' purchasing power was much greater in 2021. Money was pretty cheap in 2021. When you look at the overall number of sales, when you look annually over the last 5 years, 2022 saw the lowest amount of sales out of all of them. That may have to do with inventory level. It may have to do with buyers' purchasing power. It may have to do with a lot of things. Sometimes an indicator of a healthy market is the amount of new listings that hit the market. January of 2023 actually saw the lowest amount of new listings over the past 5 years. That probably has to do with the crazy storms that we saw, but it could be for other reasons too. Then when you consider annually the number of new listings, 2022 saw the lowest amount. That probably has to do with the number of sales as well. Transactions falling through can indicate the overall health of the market as well. 2023 actually saw the lowest amount over the last 5 years. Way to go, 2023! Yay! And then when you look annually, year over year, 2022 actually had the lowest amount out of the last 5 years. Another key piece to look at is expired, canceled, and withdrawn. And when you look over the last 5 years, you can tell this January saw the biggest number of expired, canceled, and withdrawns since 2020. What do all these data points point to? What does all this really mean? No one has a crystal ball, but we can take a look at these numbers and try and formulate an educated guess. But that's all it is, a guess. Because as much as we think that we can predict the market, there are too many variables, including human will, to the economy, the global economy, inflation, war. I mean, the list goes on, that can affect what happens in the real estate market. What we can see is our median sale price has come down since last year. There are still incredibly strong values and the trajectory looks up. However, buyers have been able to negotiate themselves lower than listed price or other terms that have made it a more enjoyable win-win experience for all the parties. That probably also has to do with the increase in interest rates. We'll have to see what they do this year. The days to sell is ticking up, meaning buyers are being a little bit more choosy because it's more expensive to buy and there's more to choose from because the inventory is up. Don't get me wrong, inventory is still actually low, but relatively speaking from what we've been seeing, the cripplingly low inventory, it's ticking up. We've got more to choose from. I'm really excited about what this year is going to mean for buyers and sellers. Over the last few months, since these changes in our markets, I gotta say, it's the most fun that I've had in real estate. These deals that we're putting together, amazing. Creative, win-wins. So we'll have to see what next month tells us. If you have questions about the real estate market, please don't hesitate to reach out. We love answering questions. Shoot us a message or give us a call.